In this video, I'm going to go over the Chase Inc. business credit line and help you figure out what card is right for your business. Over my credit card journey, I have strategically opened 17 different credit cards, which did help me travel completely for free over the course of about 4 years. And to put it into context, I traveled anywhere between 3 to 6 times a year, doing a lot of 3 to 5 day vacations. No, these were all in the US, so I didn't have anything abroad where it was costing me an arm and a leg to travel. And, well, let's dig into it a little bit more. As long as my rental cars, flights, and hotels were covered, I was allowed to travel. I mean, that was my own rules, so I had to hold myself to that. So we're really going to dig into the Chase ecosystem, specifically on the business credit card side, and tell you a little bit about why this is a really good ecosystem to start building your credit card journey. Chase has so many different rules, like the number of credit cards you're allowed to open and various other things that really can hurt your chances of getting approved. So this is a really great ecosystem to be a part of, and this is why you start in the Chase ecosystem before moving to some of these easier ecosystems that will approve you with more and more cards with a higher and higher credit limit. So let's get things kicked off with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card. This is probably where most of you will fall into with your business and just getting started up. But we will cover all the cards in the line, but starting with my favorite. You get 1.5% cash back in ultimate rewards points on all spend. You also don't have to have a formal business. You can be a sole proprietor and open any of these Chase Inc. business cards. This one really does fall into most people's category as to the card they open. So let's talk about that. There is no annual fee on this card, and you do get a $750 bonus, which is actually 75,000 ultimate rewards points. It's worth $750 after you spend $6,000 in the first 3 months of opening this card. So if you look at it this way, on that first $6,000 to spend with that bonus, you're earning yourself 12% cash back right there. And then don't forget about the 1.5% back that you're getting on all of your spend. That bumps that up to, on your first $6,000 to spend, you're actually getting 14% cash back on that. Well, Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which you could use like cash back to purchase gift cards and various other things. Or we can talk a little bit later about how you can use those points a little more strategically to maximize the value you have with your Chase Ultimate Rewards points. Next, which is also a huge perk of this card. For the first 12 billing cycles, 0% interest. Now there's a catch. You do have to make your minimum payments every single month. If you miss one of those minimum payments and you're late, well, that 0% is gone and you are paying whatever the rate on that card is right now. So just set those payments to autopay and let them come out of your account. So what are the minimum payments anyway? On any of these cards, actually, the minimum payment is going to be 1% of whatever balance you have. So if you're carrying a higher balance, the higher minimum payment you're going to have. Other benefits include extended warranty and purchase protection. Example, I purchased a laptop 6 months ago. It breaks due to the manufacturer's defect, and that manufacturer has a 1 year warranty. Well, the manufacturer is actually going to cover that, but let's say it breaks after a year and a half. As long as I purchased that laptop under my Chase Inc. Unlimited business card, I now have coverage up to 2 years, an extra year extension on that warranty, which means now there are so many things in the fine print of this on the amount that this will be covered up to and the length of the manufacturer's warranties. But dig into those on the screen or, go through the terms and conditions of this card. Next, purchase protection. Say I buy a phone, I drop it on the ground and it breaks. As long as I purchased that phone on my card and that item was purchased within 120 days, I can file a claim for a replacement up to $10,000 of value. This protection also covers theft and a few more things as well. So read into the fine print on that. There are so many more protections and benefits on this card, but for the sake of not trying to turn this into an hour video, we're not going to cover them all today. Next, let's jump into the Chase Inc. Business Cash. This one's bonus is split up a little bit different than the Chase Inc. Unlimited. Essentially, it is still a $750 bonus. Chase Ultimate Rewards points game, this probably isn't the card for you. Again, stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to tell you how those Chase Ultimate Rewards points are so much more valuable than what you see just from the cards you have right now. So you get a $350 bonus when you spend $3,000 in 3 months on this card. And you get an additional $400 bonus after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months. That's total spend, not that you have to spend $6,000 more than that first $3,000. So if you have a business that you know you're not going to hit $6,000 to spend in the first 3 months, maybe this is the card for you because you'll at least get that $350 bonus if you hit $3,000 in spend, but still have the option if you do hit $6,000 to spend in the first 3 months to get that full $750 bonus. And this is where this card gets a little bit more strategic on what you're actually spending things on, as this could benefit you more than the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. You do have a 10% relationship bonus. So what is that, right? At your anniversary of having this card, so a 1 calendar year, if you have not only the Chase Inc. Business Cash, but you also have opened a Chase Inc. Business checking account, that's your relationship, you get a 10% bonus on your spend over the course of that first year. 5% back on office stores, phone, internet, and cable. 2% cash back at restaurants and gas stations. 5% cash back on Lyft rideshare up to March of 2025. And 1% cash back on everything else. Whoa. Many of the same benefits and protections are on this card as the Chase Inc. Unlimited as well. So go through the fine print on all these and see what benefits are exactly what you're looking for, if that does matter to you. But all of these Chase Inc. card line, they seem to have very similar, if not the same benefits from card to card. Let's jump over to the Chase Inc. Business Premier. And this is where we start paying an annual fee. So make sure that you actually will be taking advantage of the benefits that you're paying for in order to, well, pay an annual fee for this card. You get a $1,000 bonus after the first $10,000 of spend in the first 3 months. So this is more for a high spender. You get a little bit more of a bonus for it. 2.5% cash back on all purchases over $5,000. So if you're going to be making some big purchases, this may be the card for you to get a little bit more cash back than some of the other cards. What's nice about this card is if you are a big spender, this helps you out a lot. It's 2% cash back floor. Like that's the minimum you're getting. So unlike the other cards where you're getting as low as 1% or 1.5% on everything, your lowest amount cash back on this card is a flat 2%. So that's a plus if you're a big spender. The downside, there is no 0% introductory offer on this card. So you're paying interest anytime that you leave a balance on that card when your billing cycle comes to an end. And just about all the same protections and benefits as the last two cards. So go ahead and check up on those. Now this one, this could be you if you're more of a big spender, but want to play the Chase Ultimate Rewards Points game. This card also has a $1,000 bonus, but you only have to spend $8,000 in the first 3 months to hit it. So you're getting that same bonus as the last card we just talked about for $2,000 less to spend. And it only has a $95 annual fee, not a $195 annual fee. And here's where it gets really nice. And if my business ever grows to the point where I'm spending quite a bit on the business every year, I'm getting this card. You better believe that. For the first $150,000 you spend on this card, every dollar you spend, you get 3 Chase UR points. So that's a 3% bonus every dollar you spend. Like I said, up to the first $150,000. After that, it's 1-to-1. So just 1% cash back for everything. And as this is the Chase Inc. Sapphire Preferred, I guess I didn't tell you what it was. The Chase Inc. Sapphire Preferred. That's what I'm talking about here. You can go ahead and spend your points for gift cards or random other things that are offered on the site at a 1-to-1 ratio. But with the Chase UR points, if you use it in the Chase travel portal, these points just became 25% more valuable. So say you want to book your flights, your hotels, your rental cars, anything in the travel portal that you can spend your points on, you are actually going to redeem them at a 1.25% value rather than the flat 1% that you would if you redeemed them for gift cards. So if you're a consistent traveler, this may be the card for you. And as I've said on all these other cards, the protections and benefits are just about the same on every one of these Chase Inc. business cards. Now, what do they look for when you are applying for one of these cards? This is something you really need to know as on your different strategies and how many cards you have open recently and how much of a credit line you have out there between all these different carriers. You may get denied. So why not take a hard pull on your credit if you don't have to? So let's go into my background and where I was when I applied for my last Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. As I do have 2 Chase Inc. Business Unlimited, they're just in different businesses. Well, it's my favorite It's my favorite business card overall. I decided to get one of those in both my businesses and reap the benefits of the bonus as well as the 1.5% cash back on everything. And remember, Chase Ultimate Rewards points on this card. That will definitely come into play a little bit later in this video, so keep sticking around. Anyways, getting back to where I was in my journey, and maybe you can look at where you are compared to where I am when I applied for this card and see if your odds of approval are pretty good or maybe a little bit slimmer. First off, Chase loves hard pulls. It doesn't matter if you have 5, 7, 10 cards with Chase. They are going to do a hard pull every single time. So remember that. If you are buying a house, car, or something that you need to be careful on how many times your credit gets pulled, maybe you have to wait on opening any of these Chase cards. They also have this wonderful rule called the 524. If you've been in the Chase ecosystem for quite a while, you know this rule. But for some people that are new to the ecosystem, well, this one can really get you if you start opening up too many credit cards. The 524 rule is if you have opened 5 credit cards, any credit card carrier, not just Chase, in the past 24 months, you're likely going to get denied for any Chase credit card. And I don't remember my exact credit utilization when I did apply for this card, but it was definitely under 5% of the total credit that I had available. That is important. You don't want to have a really high credit utilization when applying for new credit cards, especially if you're trying to get a high credit limit, because they're going to look at you more as a high risk borrower. I really do recommend keeping your credit utilization under 30% on any given card. That's just good practice. And well, anything over 30%, you're essentially hurting your credit more than helping. Ideally, gold standard is really to keep your credit utilization about 1%, not 0, but about 1%. You know why? Well, for utilization purposes of actually calculating your credit and building your credit, having a 1% credit utilization instead of having nothing to show actually does help build your credit more than having a 0% utilization over all of your cards. So currently, I have 5 Chase credit cards at the time of applying for this business credit card. And over the course of my lifespan of credit cards, I've had 7 Chase credit cards. And it's really weird when dealing with the 524 rule. Applying for any of the Chase Inc. cards doesn't matter what it is. When applying for these cards, they are going to count the 524 rule, but the 524 rule is not actually calculated with your business cards. So if you have multiple business cards, those don't count towards your 524 rule. They don't see that. But if you've had 5 cards in any carrier, like I said, open in the last 24 months on the personal side, they're going to see that, and that's what counts. And they still do, for some reason, pull that for when you apply for a business card as well. It doesn't really make much sense, but either way, Chase sometimes doesn't make much sense. So my Experian FICO score was sitting at 774 when I applied for this card. Over the past 24 months, I've had 4 hard pulls for credit cards. And between the 9 cards that I had open at this time, ranging anywhere between $6,700 credit limit all the way up to $20,000, I had a total available credit limit of $67,700. And be mindful of the state you live in. Chase normally pulls from Experian, but it is state specific, and some states do pull from different credit bureaus, state by state. So what will they ask me when I go to apply for this? What information do I need, and what do I need to look out for? That's kind of important when you're trying to get approved for a credit card, right? So let me dig into all the stuff that you really won't know until you start filling out the application. So first, you have to select the credit card you're applying for, right? Do that on the Chase site. They're going to ask you for the authorizing officer title. So if you're an LLC, for instance, member, CEO, manager, owner, etc. Your name, of course, date of birth, mother's maiden name, tax ID type, ITIN, social security number, tax ID number, whatever applies to you, your email address, your mobile number, total gross annual income. You can actually even include OPM, other people's money. And many of you watching this video that are in my community definitely know how valuable it is to use other people's money. Well, guess what? Chase lets you do it too. That does have to be regularly made payments, like scheduled payments of someone else's money coming in. If you can show a track record of that coming in consistently, you can also use that as your gross annual income. They're going to want to know your business info, like are you an LLC, sole proprietor, etc. Your business legal name. Does your business have a DBA, doing business as? For example, like my axe throwing business. My axe throwing business is Well, my axe throwing business LLC is not the name of my axe throwing business. It's a different name, and I'm doing business as this under this business. Pretty simple, I would think. They're going to want to know your tax ID type. Is your business address the same as your personal address? Yes or no? If you're working from home, of course it is. Number of employees. So with this, if you are actually the only employee, they want you to mark 0. It's only if you have any more employees. So you have 3 employees, you're going to mark 3 here. Business phone number, business established date. When did you form your business entity? If you formed an LLC, use the day that you opened your LLC. Annual business revenue, or an estimate if your business is new. Business category. And please note, if you're doing what I'm doing and lending/connecting in real estate, don't put lending here. Click real estate or something else, not lending. I mean, banks don't really like to give credit lines out or approve you for credit cards or even checking accounts, honestly, if you're competing with them. It kind of makes sense, right? So just don't put lending. Estimated monthly spend, and don't be conservative here. This is what's going to get you your credit limit as well. If you put $0 there, I mean, it doesn't have everything to do with getting your credit limit, but if you put $0 of monthly spend, why are they going to approve you for a credit card? They are not going to make any money off you or have no chance to make money off you. So don't be conservative here and put something that's reasonable and realistic, but maybe you're, on the high side of what you might spend monthly. What percentage of the business do you own? Pretty simple. Do you want any employee cards? If you have a couple employees, well, add that here. Now, there are 11 certifications that you have to go through. Then you click submit. Sometimes it's automatic. Sometimes it goes into review. Going into the branch opening a card will increase your odds on this. And well, one other thing to note, as I ran into this personally, if you have an LLC under a holding company, so you have your holding company above, and this LLC down here that you're doing business in is owned by that LLC. Well, I'm 100% sure you're not going to get approved on an online application. They're going to be saying pending review. You're going to need your LLC docs in order to get approved for this card. So if you could just bring that into the bank with you when applying for this card and say, hey, I know you're going to look for this. This is what's going on. You're going to need these. It is just going to get you one step further ahead of the game. And every single branch rep is different. Some branch reps have no clue anything about business, and they're, well, opening business credit cards for you and telling you what card is right for your business from someone that doesn't do anything in business, right? It's kind of like the wonderful teachers we have in high school and college that are teaching us how to do things that they don't even do, right? Okay. We can go down a long road there. I'm going to drop that topic right now. But just getting to the point that sometimes reps will tell you that this isn't legal and they can't open an account for you because they don't understand how limited liability companies can be structured. So you're going to have to find the right Chase bank in order to open your account sometimes too, or constantly be cycling through different people at that bank. Also, a little bonus tip. When you do get approved, pending you get approved, of course, ask for rush delivery for your card. They're not going to go out and say, hey, would you like rush delivery? It's usually going to get to you in 7 to 10 days. If you ask for rush delivery, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and you'll get it in 2 to 3 days. It just gives you a little bit more time, especially if you have expenses already planned, which most people do when they open a credit card like this to get a bonus. They have a big expense that they're ready to spend, a large amount of money on to help them hit that bonus. It'll just get you your card faster. And of course, if you did want to open any of these cards, I would really love it if you use my referral link that's in the description below. It does take a lot of time to make these videos, and it's not costing you anything extra just to click on my link and go through there rather than just clicking some random link online. Now, honestly, I really don't know this, but if you go in the branch and say that you had a referral link from someone, I'm not sure if you can use mine or not, but if you can't, still go into a branch and open it with someone in that branch. You're just going to have a lot easier process to get approved for this card. And who knows, maybe you get a different bonus as well in branch rather than trying to do it online. Lastly, I did tell you about how you can get essentially your ultimate rewards points, your Chase ultimate rewards points on steroids, that little bonus. So this is what I'm doing in a few months as I've strategically planned this for 4 years. I used to have the Chase Sapphire Preferred on the personal side. I've used that. It had a $95 annual fee. I got the big bonus, and I closed that card out years ago. But with Chase, you can only get a bonus on anything in the Chase Sapphire line, which is the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is their #1 travel credit card. You can only get that new card bonus once every 48 months. So 4 years. I'm coming up on that 4-year mark, and I'm going to open a Chase Sapphire Reserve on the personal side. Now, there is a $550 annual fee, but I have about $4,000 plus of Chase UR points between all of my Chase cards that I haven't spent for quite a while now since I've closed the Chase Sapphire Preferred, because when I transfer all of those points over to the Chase Sapphire Reserve, all the value of those points essentially get 0.5% more. So $4,000 worth of Chase UR points spent in the Chase Travel Portal turns into $6,000. I get a 50% bonus for using those points in the travel portal on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And I can move my personal cards over there. I can move my business points over there as long as they're Chase UR points and not cash back. So like your Chase Ultimate Cash isn't going to work. Anything that has Chase UR points in the Chase ecosystem can be moved over to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. That's one of the best things about the Chase ecosystem. Those points can transfer between personal and business credit. And I haven't done this yet, but I'm seeing a lot of people talking about credit card stacking and how you could actually use your credit limit and move even your personal credit limit over to your business side. Now, from what I understand, you can't move business credit to personal credit. Either way, I haven't done this, but I am looking into it, as I'm probably going to open the Chase Inc. Business Cash and start doing what's called credit card stacking and moving my balances for my other cards, my credit limits for my other cards onto that. The one thing I don't know yet, and I'm trying to figure out, is I'm going to get a 0% introductory offer for 12 months. Now, when I bring all of that credit over, that credit line over, and essentially just like morph cards together, do I get 0% interest on all of that credit limit that I have? I really don't know. And that's something I'm digging into. So if somebody knows the answer to that, comment in the description below or email me, contact me. I have a million different ways for you to contact me in the description of this video. Please do, because that's something I really want to know. So comment below on what you thought of this video. If you've made it to this point, please just give me a comment and tell me something about this video that you found out that you did not know before. And all of this, all the bonuses and everything I talked about is as of today's date when I posted this video. Bonuses and different offers that they have within these cards do change. So look at the date of the video and don't go, oh, this isn't what it is. They change. And don't forget to give yourself a raise. I'll see you next time.